Well, it didn't take long. Once the bill was introduced, the skullduggery machine went into overdrive. Come on inside, let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Bill Bateman, part of the team here at Oregon State Tenants Association, and for the astute listener, and I know that's you out there, that is new music. I thought an official news alert tone would be appropriate because it took very little time for owners to begin spreading misinformation. And I don't have exact examples of the present shenanigans, but I do have examples from what you've heard in the past. I'd like you to listen to what I'm going to talk about and then let me know if it sounds at all familiar with what you might be hearing. I found some park owners have already been asked to insert things in newsletters, and if it's your newsletter, you don't have to allow it. If it's the park's newsletter and you don't care for it, it's your responsibility and your right to complain about the content. But some of the excuses we have seen in past campaigns, and I'll list just a few. Park owners are struggling to pay their bills. Park owners do not want vacancies and are careful not to set rents above what the markets will allow. And by the way, a prospective tenant is free to go elsewhere if they believe the rent is too high. Let's see what else. Oh, this is a good one. Parks, especially small and mid-level parks, already have rents that are significant at or below the market value. And the coming bill would adversely affect existing parks by reducing their ability to maintain common areas and amendment. I can hardly say it. I'm strangling. They're going to not be able to afford to take care of you if you reduced the rent because, well, quite frankly, they're not doing it now. And it makes no sense, this is one of my favorite, it makes no sense for existing park residents to suffer a reduction for the sake of new and incoming residents. Those are just some of the common examples of arguments that have been heard in the past. And another thing, let's be careful of the promises you may get. I'm going to share a story from one of our people that I've worked with, and they had efforts in working in mediation. They spent 2 days working out an agreement in mediation on the behalf of a group of tenants for the park. Now, the tenants were willing to give up some rights to get what they wanted, and those rights was the park to honor its obligation to maintain the park facility. They put the whole thing together and a week later disavowed it, walked away from it. This is the type of folks we're doing business with. By the way, and I've heard this on numbers of occasions, including in my own park, any threats of reduced service is illegal. And there are several sections of the OR, or the Oregon Statutes, Section 9375, 385, and 730. Even there's more to go, but I'll save you that. Also, special assessments or fees are illegal. And let's look at what one of the park owners testified at the last time this whole thing went around. They said, rents must not be increased because the landlords are greedy, but to make a modest profit and stay in business. If landlords go out of business, residents are displaced, many of whom will become homeless. I think I got that done with a straight face. And such a bill would have disastrous consequences not upon the housing supply, but on the state's economy as a whole. This sounds suspiciously like an abusive spouse. I won't hit you again, baby, if you promise to drop the charges. This is very, very common. The idea that you don't have any power and have to let these people do what they're doing is wrong. There are state laws and there is movement afoot in a separate, this is totally down the road, but there is more and more pressure to get stronger enforcement, to get stronger laws, and to not allow this type of activity to happen. Until it does, it's up to us to stand up and not be bought off with a promise that can be broken easily, a non-enforceable promise. So the tips to do, what should you do right now? A, if you hear promises or threats or anything else, please let us know here at OSTA. We want to be able to take this right to the legislature so we have accurate firsthand information. Always get things in writing. I can't do anything with hearsay. I want written facts. Also, now's the time. People have been carpet bombing me for months. When can we get active? When can we get active? Right now. Go. Let's write some letters. Let's reach out to our mayors, city councils. I've asked our commissioners in Medford, Ashland, Talent, and Phoenix, and our committee members to issue a proclamation. Now, there are two ways they could issue it. The first way is to issue a proclamation simply supporting February as National Senior Independent Living Month. That's a national thing, and I think it'd be a wonderful idea for them to support the right of you and I, the members of the community, to live independently. If they wanted to extend that a little bit and support SB 3054, that would be even better. So let's write a quick letter, or perhaps an appropriate, polite, well thought out phone call to the Board of Commissioners or the mayor or the city council, whatever is appropriate in your area. And if you're listening out of my immediate broadcast area, I live in the Southern Oregon area, there's no reason at all you can't do this in your community. Reach out, along with the letters you're going to be writing, to the members of the commission or the committee, members of the panel that are listed on the website. We ask you to reach out to them, and there are previous programs on that, but reach out to these folks. And also, let's not forget our local newspapers. If you have one, we have one, the Rogue Valley Times here in the Medford area. I think it would be very nice to write a letter to the editor stating the appropriate factual information as to why this bill is so important. We are preventing future homelessness of you and I, senior citizens. This isn't happening a year down the road. For some people, it's coming up next month. So don't be afraid to share some information. Don't be afraid to reach out. Keep coming back to the OSTA website as new information comes in. As you share with me the things that are happening, I'll put it all together and pass it on. And you don't be afraid to do that yourself to your local community papers. And you call in if you have a favorite radio show and they take calls on various subjects, that's an excellent time right now. Tomorrow, okay, but right now if you can do it. That's what's going on right now. That's the latest OSTA update. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.